Hey everybody, Eric with MountModernLife.com, and today we're going to be talking about tire pressure and winterization. Now, on their own, they're probably not the most exciting topics, but if you're traveling in your RV or you need to put it away for the winter, they can be extremely important. Now, what is exciting is that we actually teamed up with Viair to review their 400p RV portable compressor along with their winterization kit that comes with it. And what's really cool for you guys is that they also offered to sponsor a giveaway. So for one random lucky viewer, we are going to be giving away the compressor with the winterization kit. And I'll get into more on how you enter that here in a second. But what's really cool for us is that I've actually had this compressor on my wish list for quite a while now. I had seen an RV Geeks video that showed everything that came with it, how quiet it was, how you're able to reach around the entire RV, and it has the extra tips just in case you have those hard to reach tires. Well, for us, we ran into quite a few problems when it comes to filling our tires on the road. The first one that comes to mind is we were actually leaving an RV park and I knew that I needed to put some air in my tires. Well, on the way out, I noticed that the park had an air compressor. So I just assumed that it was the right PSI, but there was no labels on the actual compressor itself. So I went ahead and said, you know what, it's gotta be. And I started filling my tires only quickly to realize that I wasn't filling, I was actually letting air out because the PSI wasn't high enough. Well, if that's not difficult enough, sometimes you'll have tires, such as in our case, on our back dualies, one tire on each side has a valve that's just very difficult to reach. And unless you have the right tip, it's just going to be impossible to fill. So we dealt with that for quite a while. But when I first saw that video, I didn't pull the trigger. I don't know why, but then we became stationary, like specifically with the camp hosting gig. But once that started coming to an end, I knew that we needed something to make sure we could keep our tire pressure right while we were traveling. And that's when we reached out to Viair. So now we have the compressor and the winterization kit. Let's talk about the giveaway. So in order to enter, you can follow this link here, which will take you over to our website where you can enter the giveaway. Or we'll also put a link in the description box that'll take you over there. And as always, if you just want to go to mountmodernlife.com and search around, you'll be able to find the link to enter the giveaway there. And then we're actually going to run it through December 4th. And on December 5th, we'll pick one lucky winner at random to receive their compressor and winterization kit. But anyway, as we move forward here, we'll actually show you what came in the box for the air compressor, and then we'll show you real quick how easy it is to do, as well as the winterization kit, and then we'll let you know our overall thoughts at the end. So as you can see here, we have the bag. Now, what's really cool about the bag is that it really does have a spot for everything. So over here, you have the actual compressor itself. And then on the side here, you'll see this is actually where the air filter is for the compressor, which they actually give you a couple extra air filters. So as you go through the process and you use it, you can use these to go ahead and change this out and keep it cleaned up. Now over here, you'll see our primary air compressor hose. This is the one you're going to use mostly. Now, fortunately for us, we have a 35-foot RV, and if I park my car front to front with the RV, I haven't actually needed this extending cable yet, but they do give you another one here in case you need it, just in case you have a longer RV or maybe you can't get your car as close as you'd like. Here is your actual air compressor gun. Now, what's really cool about this is it does have the gauge on front. When you pull the trigger, it pushes air in, and when you let go, the needle will flip back to what the actual tire pressure is in your tire, and then you can fill and release accordingly. And they also have a release button here on the side. Over here, they give you a couple extra tips. And then here, which was what was really important to me, are these extra adapters in order to help you make sure you can reach your tire valve. So this one I've used for a couple of the tires, but sometimes it can be difficult with the specific rims that we have on our tire to get this in there. So this one is my primary go-to. And this also helps me get those difficult to reach back tires by being able to go in and come back to it. And then over here, you have your instruction booklet. This will kind of walk you through the entire process. But other than that, that is about what comes with it. So we're going to head outside and show you how it works. The first thing you'll want to do is make sure the air compressor switch is in the off position. Next, you can go ahead and take the red or hot wire and connect it to the red or hot port of the battery, followed by the black or ground to the black or ground port of the battery. Now you want to take your extender hose with the female end on one and the main connector on the other and go ahead and connect it to your compressor. After that's secured in position, you can grab your tire inflation gun and gauge and connect it to the female end of your hose. Now that that's done, you can grab the tip you want to use and go ahead and connect that to the tire inflation gun. This is the tip I'm going with for our tires. Now you can go ahead and start your vehicle's engine and turn your air compressor on. Now you can go ahead and remove the valve cap from your tire and then attach your fitting to the valve. Now that you're connected and attached, you can go ahead and pull the trigger and that will start inflating the tire. As you release the trigger, it actually goes down a little bit to show you what the tire pressure is. So then you can choose to continue adding more by pulling the trigger or releasing it by using the release valve. Now you're all wrapped up, your tires are inflated, and you can turn off your air compressor. Now that we've seen how easy it is to use the compressor to put air in your tires, let's talk about the winterization kit and how easy it is to use the two simultaneously to get that job done. Now, to be honest, we're not going to actually winterize our RV. We are traveling in it right now, but we are going to show you what comes in the kit and all the steps it takes in order to get this done. So here we have the kit, and over here we actually have our regulator. Now this is going to be used to help control how much air pressure you're sending through your water lines. Now it's recommended that you set this to about 30. That way you're not going to cause any damage to your pipes. Now it has this handy little gauge on here that you can use, and then over here is a little pull-push tab. You pull it out and then it allows you to twist back and forth to regulate the air pressure coming in. Once you get it set to 30, you can push it down and that locks it in place. And then over here you have all your fittings that are going to get you connected. The first one you have here is actually what you're going to connect to the RV. You're going to connect it to your city water line, not your fresh tank fill, because you want it going through your lines, not into your fresh tank. So you just screw that right into position. Then you'll go ahead and take this. This is the female adapter. You screw it into one side of your regulator. And the way this works is this is actually what you're going to connect your hose to. So it's going to go car, compressor, hose, into the female adapter, shooting your air into the regulator. Then you'll take your other fitting over here, you'll screw that in, and you'll connect this to the piece that's connected to your city water line. So then the way it'll work is the hose will shoot air into here, you'll regulate the pressure here, then it'll send it out and into your lines, in turn blowing out all the water. Now, one big advantage to this is Katie and I have winterized in the past, and we use the RV antifreeze method, and it worked really great, but at the end of the season, we had to rinse out all our lines and get everything cleaned up. With this approach, you're just blowing out all the water, so when you start over in the following year to get back on the road, you can just go ahead and fill your tanks up and hit the road. But anyway, now that we know what comes in the kit, we'll go ahead and show you step by step how to get your RV ready to be winterized using the compressor and the winterization kit. First thing you want to do is turn your water off. Now that our water's turned off, we'll go ahead and disconnect our line. So now that our water lines are disconnected, we're going to go ahead and drain our lines. All right, now we're going to want to cut off our power. Make sure everything inside that's running off of it's turned off first, though. Now it's time to cut off the propane.
So it's probably time to clean underneath here, but the whole point here is that you want to go ahead and
turn on your hot water heater bypass. That way it's going to make sure that none of the air pressure is flying through into your hot water heater. You can drain that separately. Now, sometimes it can be difficult to find this. We do have a video on that, but it's really important that if you can't find yours, try to look into your specific manufacturer and model, and you should be able to find some information online. All right, so you want to hold down the toilet till all the water drains out, which we're pretty close to there right now. All right, now that the toilet's completely drained, we'll open up all the faucets and let them completely drain, which since we drain the lines first, there's not much water left to come out, so you just leave those open. Now we went ahead and connected the blowout plug. So here's our regulator, and this will tell us our PSI, and remember we want this around. I did go ahead and connect the female end that the hose will connect to, as well as the male end that'll connect to our actual spout that cleans out the lines. But it is important when you're looking at the regulator here, if you look at the bottom, there is an arrow right here. That'll tell you which side your female goes in, so you want your air pressure coming in here and exiting out there. So now that we have that, I will go ahead and connect to my compressor. And right now I currently have the compressor off, so let me go ahead and go turn it on, and then we'll get this set to 30. All right, so our compressor is turned on, and you can tell we're a little over 50 PSI. Now, one thing I forgot to mention earlier, which is really cool about this compressor, is that once it's pressurized, it pressurizes the line, and then it turns itself off so that you don't hear it nonstop running. So as soon as you release pressure or add pressure, then it'll go ahead and turn itself back on in order to maintain that pressure. But then once the hose is fully to the right pressure again, it'll go ahead and shut off. But anyway, you can see we're a little high there, so we'll go ahead and turn this down. And like we mentioned earlier, we want to get this right at 30 PSI, because we don't want to cause any damage. So right there, that looks about 30. So now what I'll do is go turn the compressor off and then connect this to our water lines. All right, so we set it to 30 PSI and we turn the air compressor off. So now we're going to go ahead and connect to our water line. And there we are connected. So like I mentioned earlier, we're not actually going to blow our lines out, but at this stage, what you would do once you're connected is go back over and turn on your air compressor, and then that's going to shoot the 30 PSI air into your water lines and blow it all out. Now, once you turn it on, you can go inside and you have all your faucets open, so you should see droplets of water and things spraying out of there. Once that stops, you're all wrapped up, and then you can come back out, turn off your air compressor, go ahead and disconnect all your lines that you attached here, and then your RV is winterized and ready to be stored. So as you can see, using the Viair Portable Air Compressor makes it extremely easy to regulate your tire pressure or winterize your RV. At the same time, it's extremely compact and easy to store in your car or your RV. Now, we've had ours for about a month, and I've used it when we've left every spot that we've stayed at so far, and it just gives me a much better peace of mind when we drive out, knowing that I've checked all the tires and added air where I needed it, released air where I didn't. And at the same time, I've had this on my wish list for so long that I've built up these high expectations in my head, and to actually receive it and have it work up to my expectations is pretty thrilling. Now, if you are interested in entering the giveaway, don't forget you can visit the post here, enter your information, or we will have a link in the description box. You can also just cruise to mountainmodernlife.com and search around and you'll find it. But for those of you that are just interested in looking into it, maybe for your own rig or getting it for someone for the holiday season, we will also include an Amazon affiliate link, which will take you over there where you can look into it and see which option's right for you. But overall, we think this is a great product. It works really well for us, especially in giving us a peace of mind. So we would recommend it for anyone that's looking for something to solve these sort of problems. But overall, that about wraps it up. I really appreciate you guys swinging by today. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.